Hello YouTube, welcome to another video tutorial. In today's video, we'll be covering the tax refund update for next year and ideally I'll be covering the One Beautiful Bill Act, which was recently passed by Donald Trump in the US of A. So you will see how it affects tax refund and how tax refund season for next year is going to be a very big season. So if you are new to the channel, kindly hit that subscribe button and turn on post notification.
Next year is projected to be the largest tax refund season ever. And we're going to be giving back refunds out of the tariffs because we've taken in literally trillions of dollars. And we're going to be giving a nice dividend to the people. In addition to reducing debt, as you know, I inherited a lot of debt, but it's peanuts compared to the kind of numbers we're talking about. So we're going to be making a dividend to the people. And additionally, we're going to be able to reduce debt. And as time goes by over the next 2, 3, 4 years, those numbers are going to go up. And I believe that at some point in the not too distant future, you won't even have income tax to pay because the money we're taking in is so great, it's so enormous that you're not going to have income tax to pay. Whether you get rid of it or just keep it around for fun or have it really low, much lower than it is now, but you won't be paying income tax.
So guys, congressional Republicans passed OBA, which President Trump signed into law July 4th. And also the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that retroactive OBA provisions will help taxpayers refunds much better. Alright guys, let's go into the practical aspect. So just go to your browser and ensure your VPN is connected. Let's go to ID.me, okay, ID.me. And then when you ID.me, you go to the government section. Now basically this gives you access to all government services in the US of A, by federal or by state. All of the services are listed here, and basically with ID.me, a verified ID.me account, it makes connecting to each of the services a lot easier. So basically you need to have your verified ID.me account ready before next year, okay? So guys, once you click on the government and on the ID.me website, it's open the government page and you see federal services, you see featured state services, and we're focusing on the IRS service. So you click on the IRS and to redirect you to irs.gov. So on this website, this will basically give you access to tax filing for free, both for individuals, for businesses, international filers, non-profits, and government organizations. So basically just click on individual, because in this case we'll mostly be filing as an individual. And you can see right here it says filing from 1040 federal income tax return. So file your taxes for free online with IRS free file, okay? So we're gonna just click on file your taxes for free online with IRS free file. So you open that in a new tab and it's gonna open the IRS free filing page. Right, here we are. It says IRS free file has closed. Check back January 2026. So basically IRS free file will be open January 2026. So have all of your information ready by then. Your verified ID.me, your client personal information. So you can just message me all that information once it's ready. Okay. So we're ready for next year because we're going to hit it big. So yeah guys, you know the drill. Once you have your ID.me verified, basically want to go to ID.me and sign in with your login information, and you'll be logged in into your verified ID.me account, okay? So from there, you can actually get access to all of the benefits, the government benefits that are associated with ID.me, okay? Like the federal and state level benefits. For instance, Social Security Administration, you can actually connect your ID.me account and get access to your Social Security benefits directly from the ID.me website, okay? So this is one of the benefits of the ID.me website, okay? So just so you know this. Alright, so once you click that link, it's going to redirect you to secure the SSA, and you can see you just want to sign in to your Social Security. You can actually connect with your ID.me, you can connect with your login.gov, okay? So basically this is one of the other benefits that is associated with ID.me. We'll go back to the irs.gov website and you can just read up on more information. You can go there yourself, and you can also go to TurboTax just to check the status of filing for next year, and you can actually go to Taxly as well just also see the status of filing for next year. But just know that you need to have a lot of information ready for next year tax season, because apparently Donald Trump said it's going to be a really big season. So we need all information ready right now. Get it ready and available. Alright guys, that basically summarizes everything. Kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on post notification so you don't miss my next videos, and we'll just proceed from there, and we'll just proceed to see more information regarding next year tax season. So just relax and just get more information regarding next year tax season, and I'll be waiting for information, and I'll see you guys next year. Definitely waiting on your information.
First, President Trump says the 2026 filing season will deliver the biggest tax funds Americans have ever seen. Is he right?
Well, first of all, let me say that I'm happy that taxes are now the most popular topic on your show. So President Trump could be right. Certainly, we're expecting to see larger than usual tax refunds this year. The backstory here is a federal budget bill was passed over the summer. It's sort of colloquially called the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, or OBBA, depending on who you're talking to. That's a $4.5 trillion tax cut bill spread over the next 10 years. So that means that the federal government will be spending about $450 billion a year on tax cuts. Most of that is not going to translate into really big refunds. It'll mostly be built into the month-to-month tax withholding systems that we have. But this year in particular, there's a little bit of a timing mismatch, because there are certain rules that are baked into the way that employers withhold from people's paychecks on their taxes. And then at the end of the year, everything's going to get reconciled with some of the new tax cuts that are in this bill. And so people will see an unusually large refund in many cases. For a middle income family, it could be about $1,000.
So who benefits the most then from these big, beautiful bill tax cuts you're talking about?
Well, that is exactly the right question, because many people are excited about the tax cuts that they are expecting to get or might be able to get, in particular around special temporary 3-year components of the bill, like a small deduction for tipped income and a small deduction for overtime income. But in terms of the big picture, that's frankly a little bit of a sideshow. This is mostly a set of tax cuts that benefits people who are very well off, as well as very big businesses that get a lot of tax breaks under the bill. About 3 of the $4.5 trillion that are spent on these tax cuts is going to upper middle income families and higher. So that's people making, or a family making over $125,000 a year or so, up to the millionaires. And the tax cuts, honestly, at the top end get pretty high. If you're a 1%er, you might be seeing a $100,000 tax cut every year under this new bill.
Must be nice. Online forms, a lot of us use them whenever we're filing our taxes. Are those forms going to change at all?
We'll see a few differences, but mostly things will hold steady. The real difference will be if you're someone who can take advantage, again, of the deduction for tipped income or overtime income, and they are limited. You'll probably have to do a special separate calculation at the end of the year in order to factor that into your taxes. But for the most part, the fundamentals will look pretty similar.
So President Trump is also talking about potential dividend refund checks from tariffs. Do you think that's going to happen?
This is another big contemporary policy question, and it really does speak to a long-standing interest, actually, among Republicans in particular, in sort of shifting from using the income tax to finance federal spending to using other taxes and cutting federal spending. So I'd say the thing about the tariff story is a tariff really economically is like a sales tax. Some of the administration's economists disagree with that, but it's honestly a pretty fringe position in the economic policy community. It's really widely understood as a sales tax. So there's this shift where they cut income taxes very significantly, then they impose these sales taxes. The sales tax under the name of a tariff, it does really disproportionately hit working people, and it is generating, I believe, around $100 billion a year now in new revenue. So if they continue to pursue their agenda of basically cutting spending on programs like Medicaid and food security, then we might well see a little bit of that money coming back into taxpayers' pockets.
All right, guys. So now let's hear from President Trump. So you get more information about the next tax season from the horse's mouth.
Can you also talk about the USMCA and what you're thinking about renegotiating that with the automakers?
Well, that's just an ongoing thing. It expires in about a year, and we'll either let it expire or we'll maybe work out another deal with Mexico and Canada. But look, Mexico and Canada have taken advantage of the United States, like just about every other country, in all fairness. It's not them, I'm not blaming them. But every country, because we had stupid people running our country. We had a lot of stupid people running. That's why we have $38 trillion in debt. But the beautiful thing about the tariffs is we'll start paying off that debt. The money coming in, they're finding money in our country now that they never knew existed. The other day, $30 billion. Where did it come from? I said, why don't you check the tariff shelf? They said, sir, that tariff hasn't started yet. It doesn't start till January. I said, no, it started 2 months ago. They called back, sir, you're right, it was from tariffs. No, we have a whole different country. I hope the Supreme Court, I pray that the Supreme Court understands the importance of the sensible, really, I mean, this would be country threatening if something happened with regard to that. You know, the people that brought that case are bad people. They're very bad people. They hate our country. They represent foreign countries, including China. But they represent, and China's paying us a lot of money now in tariffs, but they represent people that really don't like our country much. And I know some of them, and they're scum. In my opinion, they're scum. They're absolute scum. And they're not suing for any good reason. They're just suing to see if they can stop it, because they make money if this country does badly. You know? So, but we're taking in trillions of dollars. We're stopping wars. We have great national security because of tariffs. And then to think that we have to even go and justify this. The reason a lot of these people, I can tell you this, maybe we would have had the political people, we wouldn't have these people without tariffs. The people that are up here from Stellantis and Ford and General Motors, great companies, including this gentleman, they wouldn't be here today if we didn't have tariffs. They'd be building their plants in Mexico and other places. They're leaving Mexico and they're leaving Canada. They're leaving because they ripped off our country. They took our businesses away from us. And now because of tariffs, they're all coming back.
Mr. President, on the tariff exemptions, you had some recently on a variety of different goods. I'm wondering, are you ruling out going forward no more exemptions on products? You were mentioning a disagreement you had earlier.
We've taken in hundreds of millions of dollars in tariff money. We're going to be issuing dividends later on, somewhere prior to, probably in the middle of next year, a little bit later than that, of thousands of dollars for individuals of moderate income, middle income. We're going to pay down